Welcome, everyone, to Southern Virginia University Women's Lacrosse here from the fields at Southern Virginia University. Jim Bresnahan, joined by Jake McMahon, bringing you all the action today as the Southern Virginia University Knights are taking on the Emmanuel College Lions. 3 minutes into the action, and the Knights have the early lead here, 1-0 over Emmanuel College, a team that came in with 3 wins on the season. They're D2, though, Jake, and they play a very tough schedule. One of their losses this season to a top 10 team in Division II Limestone. They've had some nice wins, including a win over Brevard, too.
Some stout competition here for the Knights early on in the season, not to start off the season necessarily. They're already a few games into the season, but Emmanuel College will certainly give the Knights a good test here. And the Knights have started off strong here within the first 3 minutes with the first goal of the game. So the Knights coming out strong and showing their stuff against Emmanuel College.
Knights are being led this season in part by Zoe Bradshaw. Came in with 14 goals on the season. And of course, she was the Capital Conference Offensive Player of the Week, co-Offensive Player of the Week. And by the way, for those who did not join us for the first game of our doubleheader, just a few hours ago, we had men's lacrosse, and it was the Merchant Marine able to hang on to defeat Southern Virginia 17-15 in a really close ball game. Here it is 1-0, Knights on top. We have played just over 4 minutes here from the fields at Southern Virginia University. Emmanuel, nice save there by the Knights. Making the save there, Kaylani Torres-Lopez, who's done a great job this season for the Knights in goal. The Knights came in with a record of 2-3, but they have won 2 in a row, defeating Hollins and then Montreat on Saturday.
Montreat was a big win. The Knights hadn't really played Montreat in the past before, and were wondering what kind of game Montreat would give them on the road. But the Knights were able to gain a lot of confidence in that win, as they thought, not having played them before, having heard rumors of, the ability of Montreat, coming off the win was certainly a momentum builder for the Knights coming into tonight's game against Emmanuel College, another D2 program.
Yeah, the Knights in the last 2 victories have outscored their opponents 35-15. Open for a 3-game winning streak if they could defeat Emmanuel today. But this is a tall order, as right now the Lions trail 1-0, and Emmanuel on the drive here into the attack area. Emmanuel's top player as far as goal scorer is Tara Larson. She's a junior. She has 26 goals in 6 games this year.
And that's some pretty stout offense, Jim. The leading goal scorer for the Knights, as you already mentioned, Zoe Bradshaw, only 14. So in a matter of 1 extra game, there's 12 extra goals there from Tara Larson and Emmanuel College. However, that, as we heard from Coach Jason Lamb in his interview, it's kind of a similar situation with the men's lacrosse team here at Southern Virginia University, where a lot of the offensive production is scored by Casey Rich and Sean Lamb. And so if you can shut down really the top performers and maybe force the team to work with some less productive players, you have an advantage there. However, in this situation, it was one of the less productive players that scored just now for Emmanuel College.
Yeah, Laura Russell, junior attack, able to get that goal. She's got 13 goals this season. That's number 14 for her on the season. And she ties the game at 1. And that was simply a matter, Jake, that the Emmanuel player got good position in front of Kaylani Torres-Lopez, the goalkeeper, and it was just a tough shot for her to stop. So now Emily Winslow will take this face-off for the Knights. Knights and Lions all even here at 1. Played just over 5 minutes of this first half.
And we know that lacrosse runs deep in the blood of the Lamb family. Emily Winslow here is actually the daughter of head lacrosse coach and athletic director here at Southern Virginia University, Jason Lamb. Just had that name change as she got married recently to basketball player Kellen Winslow, one of the good offensive producers for the Knights.
Yeah, Emily is really coming on this season. Has a goal, but in that Montreat game, she handled the ball quite a lot, along with Lessing. Knights with 2 shots on goal so far, and a shot on goal for Emmanuel. Both teams have 1 on the board so far. And the Lions quickly trying to get it into the attack area. Not being stopped. Finally, the defense collapses. Good look at the goal, but there's Torres Lopez with the stop. But whistles blow. Good weather, no rain today, Jake, but a little colder here at the night game as opposed to the afternoon men's game.
Yeah, you're not kidding. As we mentioned earlier, some great weather conditions today, not a cloud in the sky. About 60 degrees starting off in the men's game, but now probably dropped down to the low 50s, high 40s. And up here at the fields, a little higher elevation, got a little bit of a wind chill to add into it. I imagine that it's pretty cold out there in tank tops and skirts to be playing lacrosse, but the running keeps them warm, I'm sure.
Shot goes over the goal. Well, it was cold Saturday in that Montreat game. I think it only got into the 40s there. That shot was taken by Aguilar. Rather a low-scoring game early on here. We had played over 6 minutes, almost 7 minutes. And each team with only one goal so far.
Looks like Emmanuel College having a little bit of trouble passing the ball thus far, able to maintain possession as the Knights aren't in a huge situation to be able to take those mishandled passes away from them. And because they're not able to do so, Emmanuel College able to get their second goal
That's
of
Larson,
the game.
her 27th goal of the season. She came in with 26 goals in 6 games and just got her 27th of the season.
Now, if the Knights are able to play a little bit stickier defense, there's not a lot of contact involved, if any contact allowed in women's lacrosse here, but if they can play a little bit closer and close some gaps on the defensive side of things right now, like we said, Emmanuel College looks like they're having a little bit trouble receiving passes. If the Knights can be close proximity, then they might be able to scoop up a couple of those and get some turns in possession.
That's going to be one key today for the Knights as far as getting possession. The other, obviously, would be the draws. No question, though, Jake, the Knights are certainly going to miss Rainey Whitworth this season. Looks like she will not play at all this year.
Now, there were some miscommunications in eligibility with regard to NCAA requirements. It looks like a season that Rainey thought she was playing on a club team that was actually being funded by the school, which would take away a season of eligibility for her. They appealed to the NCAA but were denied the appeal, and unfortunately she's not going to be able to play this year, but is still able to contribute from a coaching standpoint on the sideline. Certainly a big asset there, although she's not able to be on the field.
So Emmanuel College just getting their second goal and taking the lead. Back with the ball again. Quickly into the attack area. Pass batted away by Hoteling. Referees stop play momentarily. Saw a lot of stoppage of play on Saturday in the Montreat game.
Because contact's not allowed, Jim, even the slightest contact will get whistled, and it's hard not to be able to have any contact. And actually, as we talked about some potential rule changes with regard to NCAA men's lacrosse, they are talking rule changes along with women as well, maybe requiring a little bit more protective gear, maybe a helmet for women.
I wondered if they were going to maybe allow some slight contact.
And that would be the reasoning behind more protective gear, would be allowing maybe a little bit of slight contact, considering the frequent stoppage in play for even the slightest contact currently. It would help. It would help with the flow of the game, certainly.
Emmanuel on top here, 2-1. Now it's got the opening goal. Emmanuel's got the last two. Kehlani Torres Lopez, the goalkeeper, she's done very well in goal the last few games, especially allowing only 15 goals in the last two Knights' victories.
And it looks like we might have had a whistle just prior to that shot. Looks like the Knights might have caught a lucky break against Tara Larson here, assuming that she isn't able to put this one in the back of the net.
Already has 27 goals this year. Tries to ground that one in.
And sure enough, the Knights are able to get away with one there with a foul just before the shot, what would have been a goal.
And there is the third goal of the first half for Emmanuel. Second goal of the game for Laura Russell, who came in with 13 of the season. She's got 15 goals in the season. Emmanuel has scored 3 straight goals.
Was just able to run right up in there and get point-blank range and put it in the back of the net, which makes it difficult when you're not allowed to contact Jim.
Emmanuel College this season losing its opener to Limestone 21-4. Again, Limestone's a top 10 team in D2. Then lost to Pfeiffer and defeated Brevard. Also defeated Erskine, lost to Newberry 15-13, and then beat Shawan 18-8. So they are 3-3 on the season. Of course, next week the women's lacrosse team for Southern Virginia, they'll be hitting the road going to Hilton Head, South Carolina.
Lucky them. I'd like to be going to Hilton Head too, Jim.
They probably would like to be there right now.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
As opposed to running around in shorts in 40-degree weather.
You know, the weather's been kind of bipolar up here, Jim. About last week, had 70-degree weather, and then we had some storms, and back came the chilly weather.
Ooh, Zoe Bradshaw took a hit from behind. You know, for a non-physical sport, in the last couple of seasons, I've seen Zoe Bradshaw playing women's lacrosse, and she hits the turf and gets hit actually quite a lot.
She really does, and that's really the only way you can deal with her. It's kind of like a good foul in basketball. Rather than giving her the easy goal, you kind of just have to knock her over to stop her and make the Knights restart and kind of interrupt the flow.
I just wonder if Zoe would be surprised to learn that no physical contact is allowed.
Yeah, I don't know. She also plays soccer here at Southern Virginia University and is a pretty physical player in soccer as well.
One of those few female athletes that just never seems to get tired. The other one that comes to mind, I'm sure there's more than these two, but Jamila Gambi is another one who just seems to run all day.
Yeah, you're not kidding. And on the basketball court, they love to run Jamila all around.
Whistle before the shot attempt by Zoe Bradshaw.
Looks like Zoe will have another opportunity on goal here.
See what she decides to do. Attacks the goalkeeper directly. Has the shot blocked. And the ball's picked up by Emmanuel. Tiana Machado is the goalie for Emmanuel, just a freshman, 5'11", out of Edmonton, Alberta.
And we have yet another stoppage here. You know, I probably would love to see the change in rule a little bit to maybe allow for a little more contact, as the game flow is interrupted quite a lot here, Jim, with even slight contact whistles.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of a videotape where you go, freeze it.
Yeah.
All the starting and stopping. And it's
like
got to be the same.
It's like a buffering video.
Got to be the same.
Start, stop, stop.
Got to be the same for the players. Got to be frustrating for them to just start to get going and hear a whistle.
Absolutely.
Knights scored the first goal today, but Emmanuel's come back with 3 in a row. Knights trying to get the turnover there. Zoe Bradshaw almost thought she had it, but Emmanuel still with possession of the ball. First game today, again, Merchant Marine 17, Southern Virginia 15 in men's lacrosse action. It was a great game, Jake, but Merchant Marine just able to hang on down the stretch.
As we talked with Coach Lamb following the Merchant Marine game, you know, the Mariners, rather, of the Merchant Marine Academy have to be given credit for their physicality, which was certainly the deciding factor in the game this afternoon against the men's lacrosse team here at Southern Virginia University. The Knights not having really any trouble creating goal-scoring opportunities when they're on offense, but unfortunately weren't able to get as many possessions as they would have liked, as the defense, you know, gave the ball to the Merchant Marine pretty frequently.
Looked to me like on that last play, Zoe Bradshaw might have been hit in the knee or the leg. It looked like she was coming up limping a little bit. Knights had possession of the ball, then lost it. Emmanuel's got it. Both teams are having a struggle here, Jake, just holding on to possession of the ball. And as you mentioned earlier, passing the ball to each other.
And that will be a Knights ball in turn of possession against Emmanuel College, considering the fact that was not a shot.
Definite pass.
And Lauren Thatcher will bring the ball back into play here.
Lauren trying to bring it upfield.
Emily Winslow with the ball, looking for Claire Hotailing.
Clear up the right side. Don't see Zoe out there right now. Yeah, she's over the left. Yeah, looks like a timeout's going to be taken with 18:15 to go here in this first half, and Emmanuel holding on to a 3-1 lead. The Knights scored relatively early in this first half, Jake, in the first few minutes, and they haven't scored since.
Absolutely. You know, the defense not playing in a lot of close proximity to the Lions of Emmanuel College. And so, you know, you might have an opportunity for getting some more turns in possession if you play in close proximity because, and only because, Emmanuel College is having trouble passing the ball right now. Maybe if you're a little closer to the to the offensive player, the attacker rather, you might be able to pick up some of those ground balls that the Lions are so freely putting on the ground right now. And so, you know, we'll talk a little bit more about that. Right now we're going to cut to a commercial break, Jim, and we'll talk a little bit after these messages.
Welcome back here to the fields at Southern Virginia University. It is right now Emmanuel College 3, Southern Virginia 1. Doubleheader today, men's lacrosse action. First game, we had Merchant Marine over Southern Virginia 17-15. Emmanuel College early on in this game losing 1-0 as the Knights got the first goal of this first half, but since then, Emmanuel has come back with 3 straight goals.
And Coach Weber probably talking to her players right now about how they can get back into this game. 2 goals is not much at all, and the Knights can easily come back into this game. The goal is just not letting it get out of hand, Jim, as Emmanuel College right now certainly has the momentum on the offensive side of things. The Knights will have to play some stout defense to not allow the Lions to score any more goals. Right now, the Knights on the offensive side of things and would love to get a goal here and bring it back within 1.
Yeah, the Knights have 3 goal scorers this season in double figures with goals, and that, of course, would be Zoe Bradshaw, also Lauren Thatcher, and Claire Hotailing.
Zoe Bradshaw ranked 5th in the Capital Athletic Conference with regard to goal scoring so far this season, and Claire Hotailing and Lauren Thatcher tied for 10th right now in the Capital Athletic Conference in scoring. So lots of offensive firepower there for the Knights in Zoe Bradshaw, Lauren Thatcher, and Claire Hotailing. And right now, the Emmanuel College playing some pretty good defense. Right now, getting in is number 13, Ashley Lessing, almost with the goal.
Good save, though, by Machado, the goalkeeper.
And Tiana Machado doing a great job in the goal thus far, Jim, having a couple saves in comparison to just the 1 goal.
And here comes Emmanuel trying to make the run, but the pass goes awry. And a battle for a loose ball, and it looks like the Knights had it and lost it. Both teams still battling for it. Zoe Bradshaw trying to pick it up. Losing it dangerously close to the goal. Boy, when you've got a ground ball or loose ball right in front of the goal, you've got to pick that up, Jake. That's kind of scary for the goalkeeper, Keilani Torres-Lopez.
You're not kidding. And in that situation, it's number 4, Allie Brock, who's able to pick it up. And all you have to do is drive like in basketball, and you're probably going to be able to draw the foul. In that case, she did. And as long as she acts quickly, she'll have a goal-scoring opportunity here against Keilani Torres-Lopez.
She takes the shot and scores.
And shoots it and scores it.
So Brock has picked up her 12th goal of the season. She came in with 11 goals on the season. And Emmanuel has now scored 4 straight goals.
The Knights will be looking to get back into it here on this next offensive possession as long as Emily Winslow wins this face-off. The Knights need to work in their top players in Zoe Bradshaw and Lauren Thatcher and Claire Hoteling with some methodical passing. It looks like right now number 13, Ashley Lessing, is getting some opportunities in front of the goal as well, so she might be a pivotal offensive player in this game as long as she can get the ball on target and in the back of the net.
Magic Knowles will take this draw for the Knights. Emmanuel scoops it up, and here come the Lions again with a 4-1 lead. They lose the ball.
Lauren Thatcher able to get the strip from behind. And there will be a foul against number 22, Kamaya Galen, for the contact against Lauren Thatcher.
Knights will try to get the offense going. They have not scored in quite some time. They started off the game with their first goal of the game in the opening minutes and haven't scored since. Haven't scored in about 12 minutes or so.
And it looks like we'll have another foul against Emmanuel College, who are really playing some stout defense against Lauren Thatcher currently. She gets it up to Emily Winslow.
Nice pass there. Winslow will try to go over to the left side of the field now. Over to Johnson. Elise Johnson with it. Now to Thatcher. Thatcher's shot is way high. Thatcher came in tied for the second most goals on the team with 10 for the Knights. Relatively even in the category of shots on goal. Emmanuel's got 5, Knights have 4, but Knights have been outscored here 4-1.
And the Lions with numbers here on this counterattack, able to get the ball up the field.
Nice
right in front of the goal.
And another goal scored by the Emmanuel Lions. That's their 5th goal, and not much Kaylani Torres-Lopez could do about that, Jake. That was right on her doorstep. And the goal is scored by Aguilar. And that's 5 straight goals now by the Lions.
Yeah, on that quick counterattack by the Emmanuel College Lions, you know, the defenders bite really quickly to the open player on the wing, which left Aguilar wide open right in front of the goal. Like you said, not much Kaylani Torres-Lopez could do about that. Counterattacks are dangerous just for that reason. And the Lions were able to capitalize.
So Emmanuel is now on top 5-1. Magic Knowles again will take the draw here for the Knights. Trying to snap this 5-goal-in-a-row streak that Emmanuel has been able to put together. And the Lions grab it off the draw. Emmanuel quickly back on the attack here, leading 5-1. Emmanuel slowing things down now with this 4-goal lead.
Some pretty methodical offensive play going on here, Jim. Is a lot of passing in between Hannah Hernandez and Aliyah Marjanic.
Knights not really forcing the action, not wanting to give up and pass down low.
And that was almost a missed pass turned goal there.
Kaylani Torres-Lopez coming out of the goal to contest it. Under the 14-minute mark, Emmanuel leading here 5-1. And the Lions trying to get their 6th goal in a row. And Emmanuel with his 4-goal lead. They're in no hurry right now. They don't seem to be flashing people through the middle like the Knights were doing against Montreat on Saturday. That pass goes awry. Zoe Bradshaw there to scoop it up. Zoe runs through a couple of defenders, takes a shot. No surprise there. When she splits defenders, that's where a lot of the physical contact will be made.
And you can see 5 defenders for Emmanuel College surrounding Zoe Bradshaw. And it was about 5 players before she got hit that she had to run by, which is almost half of the players on the field.
See if the Knights try to run anybody through the middle and try to get them the ball with a pass, perhaps. Zoe's got it way outside right now. Claire Hoteling, nice move there. And Claire got it in. Great spin move by Claire Hoteling. And she picks up the 2nd goal of the game for the Knights.
She puts it down in the bottom right corner of the net. Great spin move, as you said, Jim, to be able to shake the defender and get the goal. It looks like a little discussion by the referees, and we'll see if we have a goal. And we do.
And so the Knights cut into the lead by Emmanuel College, shaving a 4-goal lead down to 3 now. So Claire Hoteling picks up, I believe that's her 11th goal of the season. And the Knights climb to within 3 now.
Emmanuel College showing no signs of urgency, especially on the offensive end. Definitely willing to slow things down a little bit, the Knights. Down 3 are going to have to find opportunities to maybe interrupt that flow of Emmanuel College and speed things up a little bit, as the Lions ran off about 2 or 3 minutes on that last offensive possession.
Here come the Knights with Lauren Thatcher leading the way. Knights down by 3, trying to get their 2nd straight goal in an effort to make a comeback. Mentioned the Knights will be headed to Hilton Head, South Carolina next Wednesday and Thursday for consecutive games. Zoe Bradshaw took a bit of a hit to the head there. She's okay, still battling against these Lion defenders. Then the Knights return home on the 21st against Randolph and the 23rd against CNU. Whistles blow as Bradshaw lost control of the ball. She got bumped.
As long as Bradshaw takes a beeline for the goal, she might have an opportunity to get another one and bring the Knights within 2 points.
Nice fake by Zoe, and she scores.
That goes into the top right corner of the net, right behind the goalkeeper, Tiana Machado.
And so the Knights have now scored 2 in a row to cut a 4-goal lead for Emmanuel down to 2 goals. So the Knights are right back in it, only trailing now by 2.
And it seems to be somewhat of a similar situation to the men's lacrosse team earlier against the United States Merchant Marine Academy. As long as the Knights can get offensive possessions, they're not having really any trouble eventually getting it into the back of the net, Jim. The only question is, can they continue to get offensive possessions and create those goal-scoring opportunities?
You know, Emmanuel's got 5 goals, but they've also had a lot of situations, Jake, like you mentioned, where they've had a tough time connecting on passes.
Emily Winslow back to take the face-off.
And Emmanuel will grab this one. Here come the Lions. No one's picking up. And a good save there by Kelani Torres Lopez.
The Knights got away with one there. It was Ashley Lessing and number 10, or rather trying to find here. Oh, it was number 9, Kafia Abdullahi, who were running backwards and not really seeing the Lions running straight down the middle of the field.
And that was, I believe, Larson, who's their top goal scorer. And she had a great look at a shot there. Nice stop again by Torres Lopez.
Really beautiful save, getting down on the knees and sticking that stick right into the lower section where the ball was shot.
But the pass is headed out of bounds. Looked like Zoe Bradshaw and Winslow maybe were confused about who was going to grab that pass. So here comes Emmanuel with a 2-goal lead, 5-3. Lions on top. Zoe Bradshaw bumps the Lions player.
Lions working things around. Claire Hoteling playing some sticky defense.
Emmanuel looking for an opportunity from behind the goal, and they score.
And that seems to be where number 11, Lara Russell, likes to live, is just right behind the goal and then run into one of the corners once she can get a free spot open. If the Knights can shut that down, that would be a big asset taken away from the Lions, as Lara Russell seems to only be scoring in that manner so far this game.
She's a junior, and she has put her team on top here, 6-3 now. So the Knights had shaved a 5-1 lead down to 5-3. Now it's back up to 6-3 for the Emmanuel College Lions out of Georgia. Folks might remember Emmanuel College because men's volleyball beat them just a few months ago.
Yes, Emmanuel College was the Knights' home opener in program history. And the Knights were able to defeat the Lions of Emmanuel College in men's volleyball in that game 3-1.
And you're going down Friday for the next volleyball match, a road match for the Knights at King, Tennessee.
Yeah, the Knights are going to have probably one of their toughest matches of the season thus far at King University down in Bristol, Tennessee. King is another foul here, but King is a Division II school with a really tough schedule, and actually beating Eastern Mennonite, who's a ranked Division III school this year. Southern Virginia played Eastern Mennonite earlier in the season as well and lost to them 3-1. King University beat Eastern Mennonite 3-2. And so it looks, based on schedule and statistics thus far, that King University and Southern Virginia are pretty evenly matched. And so, I figured why not go down to the game and see it in person.
Be a good test for the Knights, especially with that long winning streak they've got going.
Absolutely.
15 in a row, 17-4 overall.
They were started 2-4 and since have won 15 in a row. King University on Friday is 15-2. Got an interesting mascot as well, and one you don't hear often, the King University Tornadoes.
Wow, okay. And the Knights, of course, still looking forward towards the very end of the season when the Knights get a chance to, I believe, take on Marymount.
Marymount is another ranked Division III opponent. Last time I checked, Eastern Mennonite was 10 and Marymount was 11. And if the Knights could bring home a win not only against King but against Marymount, they would make some serious arguments for themselves with regard to top 20 ranking.
And maybe even a playoff spot
in the nation, and definitely a national bid.
Emmanuel picks up another goal to increase that lead now to 7-3. And I believe that was Hannah Hernandez, a sophomore, who just picked up her 12th goal of the season. And so the Knights had gotten a couple of goals in a row to pull within 5-3. Now it's back to 4 goals for Emmanuel, 7-3. Baseball was in action today. Knights losing to CNU with a game at Washington Lee coming up on Thursday. We mentioned that in men's lacrosse earlier today on this very same field, it was Merchant Marine defeating Southern Virginia 17-15. And now the men's lacrosse team will have a week off until next Wednesday, the one they'll be hosting Hampden Sydney. course, I understand, Jake, the students will be on spring break, I guess, for the next few days, except for, of course, some athletes who are right in the middle of their spring sports schedule.
Just, perfect example of that is the women's lacrosse team who will be going and taking on Salve Regina and Hilton Head. And correct me, is it Ramapo or Ramapo?
I believe it is, yeah.
Ramapo down in Hilton Head, South Carolina. So, even though they've got some games going on during spring break, not a bad spring break getting to go down to Hilton Head. I'm sure they have some beach plans in there.
And maybe, I don't know, good fish restaurant somewhere along the line.
Hey, that's exactly where I'd be, Jim.
Yeah, seafood restaurant.
Anytime I get a chance to be on the beach, gotta go get some fresh fish.
What's your favorite seafood then?
Favorite seafood? Oh, man.
Nice goal there by Zoe Bradshaw. Kind of a circus shot that was. Looked like she actually got bumped when she took that shot.
That's a good goal by Zoe Bradshaw. To answer your question, Jim, probably one of my favorite seafoods is probably some fresh tuna. When we go to the Outer Banks with my wife and family, eat at this restaurant called the Black Pelican.
Yes.
And I really enjoy their dish
when I go
called
to the Black Pelican, all I can think about is dessert.
some good dessert, too. Great. Oh, they have a great chocolate cheesecake there.
Oh, yeah.
But I get the tuna nagano, which is kind of a raw tuna dish, kind of
me
more
and my
Asian.
wife and dog go to the Outer Banks every year, and we make it a habit every year to go to the Black Pelican.
Gotta love it. I'm sure probably maybe a wait too. It's a really busy restaurant. For all those watching, go to the Black Pelican. Go to the Outer Banks here. Jim and I are over here reminiscing about the Outer Banks. Trying to stay warm in this cold weather. The thoughts.
It's pretty fun.
Think
I'm
warm
sure
thoughts.
It's going to be a fun experience for these girls to be going off to Hilton Head, South Carolina next week.
Absolutely. And the Knights now within 3 after the goal by Zoe Bradshaw. That we're down 3-7 now, only down 4-7 against Emmanuel College.
The Knights are just looking to get possession on a regular basis because if they can, they've shown the ability to score on Emmanuel's defense. Of course, the Lions have been able to score too. They have 7 goals on the board. Knights are trying to gain possession. That's Elise Johnson over there trying to take the ball away.
And the foul will go against Emmanuel College. The Knights will be able to regain possession and hopefully notch another goal in there. Lauren Thatcher able to handle the really low pass as she runs down the field.
Looks for somebody maybe towards the middle of the field to pass to.
Looked like some very minimal contact there against Lauren Thatcher, but she's still going to get the foul. Thatcher can get a good spin move here. She's got a wide open lane to the goal, but looking to pass it off there to Claire Hoteling.
Several Knights are trying to flash towards the middle, including Maddie Dupay and a few others. But that Emmanuel defense really clogging up the middle.
Looks like we had a 3-second call inside the shooting arc against Emmanuel College, and Claire Hoteling will have the restart.
See if Knights can pick up their 5th goal of the game so far. Claire Hoteling working right side. Shot is blocked away, though.
Machado with the good save.
And Emmanuel will try to advance it up the field. Dangerous pass back to your old goalkeeper like that.
Lauren Thatcher checking up on the goalkeeper, seeing maybe she dropped the ball, and almost did, but
makes you wonder how often that happens where you pass back to your goalkeeper and it just goes right into the goal.
I imagine not very often, but
well, all it takes is one
fun.
mistake by the goalkeeper. And now whistles blow again.
And it'll be number 11, Lara Russell, with the restart, pretty close to the goal. It's really going to depend on whether or not number 9, Kafi Abdullahi, can get there or not. And great save by Kehlani Torres Lopez.
Good angle on that save as she was able to go down low to make the save.
A lot of contact going on right now, but the Lions able to come out with possession still.
Pass towards the middle, knocked away by the Knights.
And it looks like the foul will go against the Lions, and Emily Winslow will have the restart for the Knights at the top of the shooting arc.
Hard to believe when it comes to men's volleyball, we only have one more home match coming up on the 22nd against James Madison, and that's it for home matches this season for the Knights. And it's a great atmosphere at the barn for men's volleyball this season.
Yeah, the fans here at Southern Virginia University have certainly been really excited about the inaugural season of the men's volleyball program here, and with some really great talent from both players and Coach Tom Peterson. It's been a big draw for all the fans. In addition, you know, fans like to come see our winning program, as the Knights have won 15 straight and now are 17-4. It draws a lot of not only people from the university, students and parents alike, but some people from the community.
You know, in 15 straight consecutive victories, you wonder how long that mark might stand for any type of sport here at Southern Virginia University. 15 in a row is hard to match.
It really is, and I guess it also depends on the sport. You know,
right? Yeah.
Football doesn't even play 15 in a season.
Yeah, you'd have to span several seasons for that. Clock is almost down to 3 minutes. Knights down by 3. Trying to make sure they get this goal. Magic Knowles with it outside. Passes to a crossing DePay. And the shot is saved by Machado.
Prior to the shot by Maddie Dupay, it looked like Claire Hoteling had crossed right in front of the goal, and maybe it was wide open. Magic Knowles saw it just after it happened, but still a good opportunity by Maddie Dupay there. Unlucky the shot didn't go in, but a good opportunity on goal.
The Lions going a long way to take that shot. .2:15 on the clock, and the Knights down here in this first half, 7-4.
And it looks like the Knights will actually regain possession after it looked like Emmanuel College would have it.
Knights would love to get a goal before this first half ends. Zoe Bradshaw looked like she took a stick and lost the ball. Zoe Bradshaw's trying to go upfield, lost control of the ball. Kalani Torres Lopez making the great save there to keep this a 3-goal deficit. Clock is a factor now. There's 90 seconds to go till halftime.
And the Lions really trying to keep the Knights out of the offensive third of the field. Really not allowing a whole lot of room to breathe.
Claire Hoteling will take it up field herself. And now the Knights have 65 seconds to work with. Claire Hoteling with it right now. Over on the left side. Knights trying to spread things out maybe for Claire to do a little spin move here. Does a spin move there. And a good block by Machado.
Yeah, it was a beautiful spin move there by Claire Hoteling, really having a one-on-one wide-open shot against Machado. But Machado really showing her stuff here this evening, Jim, as she's been able to notch a good amount of saves here in the first half to keep the Knights down 3.
And look out, here comes the Emmanuel Lions, maybe for a point-blank pass, and a shot scores. Oh, what a pass that was. And again, with another goal is Laura Russell. That time thanks to a fantastic pass and a point-blank shot. And now it's 8-4 Emmanuel with 28 seconds to go.
Yeah, the Knights on defense have to learn that, not everyone can crash down on one player who's wide open. You have to be able to keep your assignment and be aware of the other players in the defensive area. In that case, they left number 11, Laura Russell, wide open in front of the net. And as we both know, Jim, that's the wrong person to leave open right in front of the net. She's going to score probably 9 times out of 10 from that distance. So the Knights down 4, and Magic Knowles going to take the next face-off as the Knights look to maybe get another quick one in within the last 28 seconds of the half.
Just 28 seconds left, and we'll see what happens for either team if either team's able to get a shot off in the last 28 seconds. Both teams are battling with just 20 seconds to go till halftime. Emmanuel's got it. Long way to go to get a shot off, though. Well, if they can get a pass here. And it looks like the first half's going to draw to a close. So at halftime, Emmanuel holding on to an 8-4 lead. The Knights got the first goal of the game. Emmanuel came back with a flurry of goals. The Knights have been able to pick up a few more, but Emmanuel still leads here, Jake, 8-4 at halftime.
Yeah, the Knights on the defensive end have to find a way to not blow the assignments and keep especially Laura Russell and number 11 Laura Russell, number 10 Tara Larson accounted for, as they've accounted for the majority of the goals here in the first half. The Knights certainly not out of it, as they've had some really good offensive production on the offensive third of the field from Zoe Bradshaw and Claire Hoteling, who, especially Claire, is getting some pretty good one-on-one opportunities on goal. But you got to give credit to Tiana Machado, the goalkeeper for Emmanuel College, who's notched some really good saves. If it weren't for her, the score could be, 7-7 or 7-8 right now.
And Emmanuel College came in 3-3 on the season. They're seeking their 4th win of the year. The Knights came in 2-3 on the season, but they trail here at halftime. Halftime score, once again, Emmanuel College 8 and Southern Virginia University 4. We'll break away for a few messages here at halftime from the fields at Southern Virginia University.
I felt like I didn't just want to learn how to create art, I wanted to know what to create art about. At Southern Virginia, you're exposed to great art and ideas, getting the best of basically what the whole world has to offer. Professor Himes helps me so when I do create art, it can connect with other people. I don't want to just be a good artist, I want to be a good person who is an artist. I'm Corey Egbert and I'm a Knight.
high school, I never felt really pushed, and I kind of lost a love of learning. When you can have a whole semester of classes where every one of your professors, you can just say like, I have an amazing professor, but for every class, I just don't think that happens everywhere else. There's true friendships that develop here. I have good friends from another college, I have good friends from high school, but I have great friends here.
My name is Bubba Eisenhower, and I'm a Knight.
You get out what you put in, or actually you get out probably more than you put in. But if you put in effort, you'll always be blessed for that.
These participants have never experienced mission life before, so they've never experienced working with a companion, teaching with a companion, eating with a companion.
Every kid is completely different, so each kid needs to progress in different ways, and they have different strengths and weaknesses when they come in.
Just being here, I've felt so much love from God and from everybody here.
Being with all these different youth and leaders and returned missionaries, the Spirit is definitely here.
I thought if you knew your doctrine, then you can teach a lesson. But the thing is, you need to invite the Spirit, because sometimes we don't know the things that are going on in other people's life, and the Spirit tells us those things.
As you teach about the Spirit, as you learn about like the nature of the Spirit, what the Holy Ghost can do, all the different hats the Holy Ghost wears. If you come here and you want to get better and you want to improve yourself and prepare yourself to be a missionary, you're going to do that.
Welcome back to the fields at Southern Virginia University. Jim Bresnahan, Jake McMahon here as we bring you women's lacrosse action. Southern Virginia University and Emmanuel tonight in the second game of our doubleheader. In the first game, in the men's lacrosse game, it was Merchant Marine defeating Southern Virginia narrowly 17-15. Here at halftime, Jake, it's 8-4 Emmanuel on top. The Knights were led in scoring in that first half by Zoe Bradshaw, 3 of the 4 goals.
And Claire Hotelling notching one there in the first half as well. On the Lions side of the ball, it's number 11, Lara Russell, who's the second leading goal scorer for Emmanuel College so far this season, notching 4 goals in the first half. And then another one by Tara Larson, Anna Hernandez, Ali Brock, and Katiana Aguilar to get the Lions to 8. As we said earlier, the Knights needing to find some defensive prowess to be able to force some turnovers and get some more offensive opportunities. As we said on the offensive side of things, Jim, the Knights not having a whole lot of trouble getting goal-scoring opportunities. They just need more opportunities to put the ball in the back of the net, and the defense can certainly help them do that.
Emmanuel had 20 shots in that first half compared to 13 for the Knights. 11-10 advantage for the Emmanuel Lions in ground balls. Fouls, also Emmanuel had 17 compared to the Knights' 10 in that first half.
And as we mentioned, going into halftime, some credit thrown Tiana Machado's way, the goalkeeper for Emmanuel College, with 6 saves out of 10 shots on goal in the first half, which is a pretty good save-to-shot percentage there.
And we also mentioned that Tara Larson, who came in with 26 goals in 6 games, only had 1 goal in that first half. But again, Laura Russell, who came in with 13 goals on the season, she was really doing a lot of the damage against the Knights. 4 goals for Emmanuel's Laura Russell in that first half of action.
And so we'll get started here in the second half of play as Emily Winslow lines up for the face-off for Southern Virginia University against number 10, Tara Larson. And the Emmanuel College Lions get the first face-off of the second half.
And Torres Lopez able to stop that from going any further. Kind of a tenuous start to this second half, Jake. The Knights are down by 4. Really need to go on the positive side of things. They can ill afford to go down by 5 or 6. And there's a point-blank pass. But Torres Lopez again doing the job.
So far, so good by Kaylani Torres Lopez here in the second half. Just looking for an opportunity to get the ball out of there. And as was happening in the first half, the Lions are really putting a lot of pressure on the Knights in their own defensive third, not really giving the Knights any room to breathe. They're trying to keep them from even getting into the offensive third.
And that time it was a goal scored by Emmanuel. Getting the goal, I believe, Katie McCall. And she just kind of went in and around the Southern Virginia defenders to get that goal.
Yeah, she's a defender typically, a senior from Elberton, Georgia. Able to go in there and get that goal there.
And so Emmanuel jumps that lead now to 5 at 9-4. Southern Virginia women's lacrosse team coming in with a record of 2-3 on the season. So we mentioned they've got 2 games next week in Hilton Head, South Carolina. Then they're back home on the 21st against Randolph. They've got CNU on the 23rd.
Now within the Capital Athletic Conference on the national scale, Jim, have some impressive stats with York College of Pennsylvania ranked number 9th in Division III women's lacrosse in the nation. Salisbury ranked 11th, Mary Washington 17th, and St. Mary's ranked number 19th. So within the top 20 national rankings in Division III women's lacrosse, we have 4 Capital Athletic Conference teams within the top 20 there, Jim. And also notably, Washington and Lee.
Yeah, Washington and Lee
ranked
defeated
number 7.
Salisbury, which kind of shocked me, but then again, Washington and Lee is undefeated and 7th in the country.
So a lot of local talent within the Capital Athletic Conference and also ODAC with Washington and Lee here in women's lacrosse nationally.
Another goal scored, this time by Emmanuel's Ali Brock. And Emmanuel, Jake, with the 2 quick goals here to start the second half.
Now the Knights have to be careful not to allow this to get out of hand. As the second half has just started, the Knights need a couple quick goals here to get back into the mix. With only a minute and a half gone in the second half, the Knights what I'm trying to say is there's still plenty of time to play here in the second half, and the Knights are certainly not out of the competition as long as they can get some good offensive possessions and goals here pretty quickly.
Well, we've only played about a minute and a half, and in that 90 seconds, it's been really dominated by Emmanuel. They have spent basically the entire 90 seconds, unfortunately, towards the Southern Virginia goal.
Emily Winslow here against number 12, Katie McCall, or rather number 10, Tara Larson on the faceoff.
Larson, of course, is the top goal scorer for this Emmanuel College team.
And Lauren Thatcher taking maybe a slash to the arm a little bit, foul against Emmanuel College, and the Knights will have an opportunity on the offensive end.
Thatcher weaving upfield. Drops it off to Zoe Bradshaw, who had 3 first-half goals. And Zoe for the season now, 17 goals on the year. Let's put it on the turf. And they lose it. Here comes Emmanuel again with a 6-goal lead. Knights trying to contest this Emmanuel advance. Now Emmanuel's got the numbers. A pass over to the left side. Sails a little too far.
Since that wasn't a shot, it goes out of bounds, and the Knights will regain possession.
Maddie Dupay starting upfield over to Magic Knowles, and she's bumped from behind. Zoe Bradshaw scoops it up, splits a couple of defenders. That's really could use a goal here, down by 6. Zoe Bradshaw, again, trying to split defenders and again getting hit.
And it looks like Bradshaw will have an open lane to the goal here.
You know, Knights have had a hard time today, Jake, getting others involved. Lauren Thatcher really stands out, getting involved in the offense. It's either been Zoe Bradshaw with her one-on-one moves, or it's been Claire Hoteling with her spin moves, which have been very effective. But the Knights have really kind of struggled outside of those 2 individuals to really get anybody else involved on a consistent basis with the offense.
And you'd like to see a little more movement on the Knights side of the ball. There are a lot of Knights offensive players really jamming the middle, and you like to see some movement maybe around the perimeter, work it around the perimeter, and look for some open spots. And it looks like we're getting just that here. Some good movement around the outside.
There's Thatcher trying to cut across the middle for a pass. Zoe Bradshaw with a high shot. Knights try to make a pass there. Knocked away, stolen away by Emmanuel. Pass sails way upfield. Abdulani is able to grab it. Did she step out of bounds? Apparently so. It's going to be Emmanuel's ball here with 24:40 to go in the game.
That's number 11, Lara Russell, with the ball.
Emmanuel
She
has
can be
2
very
goals
dangerous
so far in this second half. Knights have yet to score in the second half.
Now Allie Brock,
Oh,
beautiful goal there by Allie Brock over the right shoulder, just finding the bottom left corner of the net from about 10 yards out. Just really beautiful eye and shot. Good accuracy
Kind
there.
of looked like Torres Lopez was in position to stop that shot, but not able to.
I'm not sure Torres Lopez was really expecting the shot from that distance. Typically in women's lacrosse, the shots are a lot more close range. And it's Allie Brock there with maybe the little bit of surprise against Torres Lopez and able to put it in.
And so now Emmanuel has a 3-0 advantage so far in the second half. The Knights trailed at halftime 8-4, and now they've fallen behind by 7. This is their biggest deficit so far tonight. Knights trying to scoop it up and go with it. Emmanuel trying to do likewise.
Looks like the foul will go against the Knights, and Emmanuel College will gain the possession following the face-off.
But it's really frustrating second half for the Knights. You have to score. Emmanuel's got 3 on the board, all that in about 6 minutes.
And lurking near the door of another goal, looking for Allie Brock, who gets the impressive catch. It almost looked like Zoe Bradshaw deflected that pass away, but somehow Brock comes up with it and gains yet another goal within about a minute and a half.
I don't know how that pass got past Zoe Bradshaw. It looked like she had a clear path to it, and as you mentioned, deflected instead. And somehow Emmanuel gets another goal to take an 8-goal lead now.
Good heads-up play there by Allie Brock, able to get her stick in position to make that catch and then put in the quick goal. But good effort by Zoe Bradshaw as well, going up for that.
So
probably not much more she could have done there.
Knights have now been outscored so far in the second half 4-0. And are in danger of getting blown out here in the second half, now trailing Emmanuel by 8.
Right now it looks like the Knights having a little bit of trouble on the face-offs. Looks like the Knights are going to put Lauren Thatcher in now for the face-off, see if they can get something else to work, maybe with a new player taking the face-offs.
Yeah, they've tried Lessing, they've tried Winslow, they've tried also Magic Knowles.
And the Knights will get the ball. Quick pass over to Zoe Bradshaw.
See if Zoe will take it herself here. Tries the shot.
And it'll be a good save there by number 15, Emma Powell, who is now in the goal for Emmanuel College here in the second half. But there will be a foul, looks like a push in the back against Zoe Bradshaw, who will get a restart for the Knights.
Powell, the new goalkeeper, she's a sophomore. Machado, the freshman, was in goal in the first half for the Lions. Zoe tries to go to the middle. On Saturday against Montreat, the Knights were running a lot of players towards the middle looking for passes, and their offense seems to have degenerated basically to one-on-one for either Zoe Bradshaw or Claire Hoteling.
There's another save for number 15, Emma Powell, the sophomore out of, well, I'll just say Florida. I don't even want to try to butcher the city name there. But the sophomore out of Florida with now 2 great saves here in the second half.
Loxahatchee.
Loxahatchee.
Actually, they've got 2 players from there.
Emma Powell and Shannon Sapp, both out of Loxahatchee, Florida. 3 players. Tara Larson, also from Loxahatchee, Florida.
No one has called from Loxahatchee to correct us.
No. Oh, 4 players. Hannah Hernandez, also from Loxahatchee, Florida. Looks like they got a little pipeline there from Seminole Ridge High School. A lot of players coming out and playing from Loxahatchee.
Don't forget, coming up on Saturday, we've got women's softball. We've got Southern Virginia hosting Wilson. They'll be in action tomorrow in a doubleheader. We'll have their Saturday doubleheader against Wilson for you, noon and then 2 o'clock. Softball seems to be looking up, Jake, after that fantastic pitching performance last week by Megan Harmon to get the victory over Roanoke in the first game of a doubleheader. Knights only got one hit in that game, and they still won 1-0.
Sometimes it's all it takes. Some good pitching and good defense. Don't need to score many runs.
And good luck on Friday. You do men's volleyball with a big matchup against Kings. Kings, as you mentioned, a heck of a ball club, and it should really be a fantastic men's volleyball match coming up on Friday on the road down in Bristol. Emmanuel has scored 4 straight goals to begin the second half, and they've got the ball again. Or had it. Almost lost it. Magic Knowles had picked it up.
Some discussion between the referees. Look like we have another foul call here. It will be against the Lions of Emmanuel College, and Magic Knowles will start off with the ball in the restart.
Knights trying to get their offense going. They've yet to score so far in the second half. Magic Knowles looking for someone maybe to pass to here. Fantastic pass over to the left side.
And an unfortunate whistle there by the referees, as that would have been a wide open shot for Claire Hotailing off the beautiful pass.
That did not work out well for the Knights. Great pass, and would have been a point-blank shot for Claire.
But now Magic Knowles with the straight beeline to the net.
Takes the shot, blocked away by Paul. Emma Powell with the save there. Emmanuel's gotten good goalie work today. First from Machado, now from Powell, only allowing 4 goals so far. Knights had come in with 2 straight victories, and in those 2 wins, they had scored 35 goals.
Looks like we have another whistle here. We will wait to see the call from the referees here on the field.
As far as shots on goal are concerned, 18-10 advantage there for the Emmanuel College Lions.
It's number 10, Tara Larson with the ball for Emmanuel College.
Pass towards the middle, a little too far.
Looking for Leah Russell right across the middle. Looks like the referee getting involved a little bit in play there, Jim.
Emmanuel still has the ball with an 8-goal lead. Pass too far to the middle. Sails all the way to the right. Emmanuel player right there to make the pickup, though.
Laura Russell with the ball again. Looks like she's calling out some sort of play as the Lions look to extend their lead to 9.
Emmanuel trying to flash people through the middle, hoping to find an open person to pass to.
And we will have a foul against Emily Winslow of the Knights.
Well, with this big lead, Emmanuel's obviously in no hurry when they've got the ball on offense to score. So they can afford to run a little clock here and there.
Zoe Bradshaw closing the gap somewhat between herself and Allie Brock. Emily Winslow now on defense. Laura Russell looking for the opportunity to shoot the ball. See a flag go in the air by the referee on the right side of your screen. And we will have another foul against the Knights.
Not going to go against Winslow too, maybe.
And it is Laura Russell with a lane to the goal. Waiting the whistle of the referee. And Russell elects to bail out a little bit and maybe look for a more welcoming opportunity for the goal.
They keep trying to cut people through the middle, but the Knights are playing good defense. And again, Emmanuel with this big lead. They're in no hurry.
Allie Brock with the ball. Was given plenty of space and time to do what she will. Zoe Bradshaw trying to close the gap a little bit on Brock. Brock driving up the middle.
Nice catch there by Brock, but doesn't have an opening, so she backs out again. Turning into a long possession here for Emmanuel.
Closing in on 2 minutes.
Another whistle will go against the Knights, maybe Thatcher.
I think Thatcher maybe caught number 8, Aaliyah Marijanich on the back with her stick there. She'll go out.
Played 13 minutes so far in the second half. Knights yet to score. Nice pass there and an easy goal for Emmanuel.
And Kaylani Torres didn't even realize that that ball had been passed over the middle to number 10, Tara Larson. Her head was still on a swivel to the assister on the play. So by the time that ball was in the top right corner of the net, Kaylani Torres Lopez had just at that point turned her head to see where the ball had gone, and before she knew it, it was already in the back of the net, Jim.
And now it is a 9-goal lead for Emmanuel, their biggest lead so far. And they are within a goal now of what happened to the Knights the other day against Montreat, where the Knights got up by 10 and the clock ran constantly. Been a rough second half for the Knights. Yet to score here, Jake, and we played, well, over 13 minutes now. Emily Winslow will go ahead and take this draw. This is another category where Emmanuel really has dominated in the second half, Jake. It's the face-offs, the draws. They've been able to win them consistently here in the second half.
Seems kind of be the theme today with Knights Lacrosse. Well, in the men's game, Logan Lund really had no problem winning the face-off, Jim, as much as it was escaping the face-off, where the Merchant Marine Mariners were just mauling the Knights.
Yeah, that was interesting talking after the game with Jason Lamb talking about, well, you've got to not only win the draw, but you've, as you mentioned, escape. So here we go, another one face-off by Emmanuel. They're right back into it, into the offensive area. Another good pass towards the middle. This one's batted away by the Knights. Look like Maddie DuPay in there to knock the ball away. Zoe Bradshaw wanted that pass. And Torres Lopez did not see her right away. Not the kind of second half the Knights were looking at, Jake. Only down by 4 at halftime. But a 4-goal lead for Emmanuel at halftime has now turned into a 9-goal lead. Zoe Bradshaw takes the shot. It's knocked away.
Yet another save for Emma Powell, the goalie from Loxahatchee, Florida, now notching 4 saves here in the second half.
Thought Machado played pretty well in goal in the first half, but Powell's played even better in the second half. And another save.
Another save. That is 5 now for Emma Powell. And between the two goalies, Tiana Machado and Emma Powell, there are 11 saves in comparison to only 4 goals for the Knights, which is a really good percentage.
Too. Nice long pass by Powell. And now Emmanuel's got some numbers here.
And it was number 3, Hannah Hernandez, right there, who was wide open in front of the goal. I'm not sure whether number 7, Katiana Aguilar, didn't see her or just maybe didn't feel like passing the ball to her, but would have been probably another easy goal there for the Lions. Torres Lopez unable to handle that pass as it goes out of bounds and will be a turnover.
And so under 15 minutes to go, and Emmanuel looks like they're going to have the ball again. Yeah, Torres Lopez is forced to start from a different position, not in front of the goal. And Emmanuel has now jumped that lead all the way to 10. So Torres Lopez, as you mentioned, Jake, unable to contain the ball, corral the ball, and then pays for it on the other end after the restart.
Lara Russell with plenty of goals here this evening, probably catching up to her teammate Tara Larson a little bit in this game, who's only had 1 goal, or 2 goals rather. And now, following this next faceoff, that the Lions are up 10 points, the clock will continue to run.
Although we do have a timeout of the field, and it's 14-4 now, Emmanuel College with a 10-goal lead.
And as we mentioned, the Knights following tonight's game against Emmanuel College from Georgia, the Lions will have 1 week off before heading down to Hilton Head, South Carolina, where they will have a game on Wednesday the 15th and the 16th against Salve Regina on the 15th and Ramapo on the 16th before coming home once again on Tuesday the 21st against Randolph College. And then just 2 days later, Christopher Newport here at home at the fields at Southern Virginia University, where both men's and women's lacrosse will open up Capital Athletic Conference action here against the Captains.
And then circle March the 25th. The women will be playing at Salisbury. The men will be hosting Salisbury. Chance for really upsetting one of the top programs, both for men's and women's lacrosse in the country.
Yeah, women's lacrosse, Salisbury's ranked 11th in the nation, currently 2-2 on the season, actually. And men's lacrosse 5-0, number 1 in the nation, the top dog, not only in the Capital Athletic Conference, but in the United States of America. And the Knights will see how they fare.
Year in, year out, Salisbury, men and women, perennial national championship contender.
Absolutely. And here we have some shots on the screen with that is Kellen Winslow on the left. That is Emily Winslow's husband. So I'm sure she likes to see her husband out here at the game dancing, and Cale Thornton wondering why he's on the on the screen there on the right. Both basketball players here at Southern Virginia University. Cale Thornton, one of the starting centers, who splits time with Tyler McCready, the 6'11 freshman.
Apparently the cold temperatures out there doesn't bother him at all.
No, they're both out there wearing shorts, and hey, good on you if you're out here wanting to wear shorts.
Been a big second half for that team right there, Emmanuel College. A 6-0 advantage so far in the second half. They only led 8-4 at halftime, but it's been all Emmanuel so far in the second half.
Yeah, the Knights not really finding any answers on the defensive end for Emmanuel College's offensive firepower. As we've mentioned, the Knights can find opportunities to score on the offensive end. The only problem is the Knights aren't getting opportunities to even put the ball in the offensive third. Even when the Knights' defense does cause a potential turnover and gets the ball, Emmanuel College gives them no room to breathe and doesn't even allow them to cross over into the attacking third.
Been a tough second half, too. You see Coach Weber talking with Kaylani Torres-Lopez. She's really been seemingly throughout this entire second half. Obviously, it's 6-0 in the second half for Emmanuel, but it just seems Emmanuel has been all over the Southern Virginia goalkeeper Torres Lopez in the second half.
And on the other side, you got to give credit to Emma Powell, who has now notched 5 saves and 0 goals against here in the second half.
Machado, the other goalkeeper, played pretty well in the first half, allowed 3 Zoe Bradshaw goals and 1 Claire Hoteling goal, but Powell here in the second half throwing a shutout.
Now the Knights going to put Claire Hoteling in the center of the circle for this face-off. The 4th player to take a face-off for the Knights here in this game, as it will be Tara Larson on the Lions side continuing to take the face-offs. She's had a lot of success here this evening.
Well, she's the one who came in 26 goals in 6 games. The Knights have held her down a little bit, but her teammates have picked up the slack. And here comes the Lions again on the attack. Emmanuel College out, as far as shots on goal, out shooting the Knights now 20-12. Even more dominant, though, on the scoreboard, 14-4. It was 8-4 at halftime and 6-0 so far here in the second half.
Looks like Allie Brock is somewhat of the go-to up top there for the Lions offense. The point guard, if you will, getting the play started.
And she works her way through a couple of defenders and then works her way back out.
That's number 7, Katiana Aguilar with the ball. The Lions showing that they are totally complacent with taking their time, running some clock out.
Might be to their advantage, I guess, or perhaps their intention. Maybe every time they possess the ball to take maybe 2 minutes off the clock.
And the Knights allowing them plenty of space to do as they will. Interesting play going on here towards the top of the arc. We have 3 Lions players just lined up. And you begin to wonder what maybe the offensive strategy is there.
Ball was lost, and the Knights are trying to grab it. And then a whistle is blown against Madeline Krause. Madeline has spent some time as the goalkeeper this year, but in the last couple of games, it's been Torres Lopez.
That is number 12, Katie McCall, just kind of weaving her way through the defense at will.
Had an opportunity there to maybe take a, maybe a little spin move and take a shot at it, but it almost looked like Emmanuel on that possession really wasn't looking to shoot.
Claire Hoteling now at the ball.
See some of the football players over there after maybe their practice today.
Lauren Thatcher with the ball over on the right side of the goal. Looks like Magic Knowles took a spill there. Not sure it was a push, no whistle. But she's able to get up fine. Lauren Thatcher looking for an opportunity to pass the ball off somewhere.
Yeah, Lauren Thatcher came in with 10 goals this season into the game today. Second leading scorer, tie for the second amount of goals for the Knights this season. And Lauren just took a shot there and almost got a goal out of it, but it was knocked away again by Powell. So Lauren Thatcher is still looking for her first goal today. Bradshaw's got 3. Hoteling's got 1. And the Emmanuel College Lion player goes right by the Knight defender, Winslow, and Laura Russell scores. She just went right around Winslow, charging upfield, and then it was a one-on-one battle with the goalkeeper.
Some high fives for Emmanuel College as Laura Russell gets yet another goal.
And now Emmanuel has a 7-0 advantage here in the second half.
Laura Russell went into halftime with 4 goals, and I believe she's notched at least another 3 or 4 here in the second half. So with 9 minutes, 52 seconds remaining, Laura Russell with 7 or 8 goals on the day. Not a bad day at all, Jim. So it's a pretty successful day at the office.
Yeah, she came in with 13 goals on the season, second to most on the team for Emmanuel College. Knights had played a very spirited and competitive first half, Jake, and they were only trailing 8-4 to start the second half, but it's been a second half completely dominated by the Lions. Hopefully the Knights can go to Hilton Head, Jake, and maybe recapture some of that magic that they had in their 2-game winning streak before they return for their next home game on the 21st against Randolph.
It would certainly be the cherry on top of a great spring break, as I'm sure they'll have some plans down at the beach. While at Hilton Head, they'll have a couple days down there together. But I'm sure Coach Weber will be reminding them while they're down there that it is a business trip of sorts.
Yep.
And that they do have to stay focused.
And they do play next Tuesday and next Wednesday in back-to-back games. Another wide-open Emmanuel College player on the left side. Whistles blow, though, before play is advanced. Emmanuel with another goal. 8 goals in the first half, now 8 goals in the second half. And Emmanuel's got a 12-goal lead.
And that is number 10, Tara Larson, the leading goal scorer for the Lions. And Tara Larson and Lara Russell just really taking matters into their own hands and putting the team on their back in this game.
Really been a tough second half here for the goalkeeper, Kehlani Torres Lopez. Gave up 8 in the first half, 8 in the second half. And going into this game today, the last 2 games, the Knights had won those games, and Knights had only allowed 15 goals in 2 games. They've given up 16 so far tonight.
And Kehlani, a freshman out of Lake Nona, Florida, certainly learning a lot in the goal, and actually not listed here on our roster as a goalkeeper, actually listed as an attacker/defender, where our goalkeepers are Madeline Krause and Jamie Snyder. But we know that the Knights are injury-ridden right now, Jim. Only 2 substitutions in this game, with about 5 others that are injured currently, with some, pretty pivotal players for the Knights, such as Faith Park, number 5, the defender/midfielder sophomore from Salt Lake City, Utah. And so for all, Kehlani's doesn't have a lot of experience in the goal, and she's learning a lot, certainly, in this game.
And the Knights have only played 2 goalkeepers this season in Torres Lopez and Krause. Torres Lopez trying to get the pass upfield. Knights still looking for their first goal of the second half. DePay drops it off to Zoe Bradshaw. Back to DePay. Whistles blow. Don't forget, our next webcast comes your way Saturday afternoon. Women's softball here from Southern Virginia University as they'll take on Wilson. They've actually got a doubleheader coming up on Thursday, and we'll have their Wilson doubleheader Saturday at noon, and the second game at 2 p.m. And the Knights get a goal. First goal of the second half.
And that is Lauren Thatcher notching her first goal of the game
And 11th goal of the season.
And the Knights finally able to incorporate Lauren Thatcher into the offensive attack here against the Lions of Emmanuel College.
And that was a nice shot she took.
Was able to make a great cut, great pass right in front of the goal, and was able to just bounce the ball right off the ground.
So again, Lauren Thatcher has her 11th goal of the season. Both Lauren and Claire Hoteling have 11 goals, and Zoe Bradshaw 3 goals tonight, and she's got for the season now 17 goals.
The Knights still discussing who's going to take the face-off, and it will be Lauren Thatcher.
For those who weren't with us in the first game today, it was the Merchant Marine and men's lacrosse action, defeating Southern Virginia 17-15. A game that Merchant Marine led the entire way. Jake, although it was tied at halftime at 8, and the Knights tied it a couple of times in the second half, they just never could get the goal that would put them on top, and Merchant Marine was able to hang on for a 2-goal victory.
And the Knights, in a week's time, looking to play Hampton-Sydney here at home, an ODAC opponent. And Coach Lamb looking forward to that game and making some adjustments within the week to get the Knights back on track with a win prior to opening up conference play against Christopher Newport on the 23rd.
Yeah, I do have that one conference victory, but the majority of the conference games still to come, and a lot of tough customers, obviously, in Capital men's lacrosse action.
Saving the ball from going out of bounds, Emmanuel College. And this is number 11, Lara Russell, just weaving her way in and out of the Knights' defense. Able to draw some contact. Going to have a straight shot at the goal. Lauren Thatcher looking to cut that off there on the left side of the goal.
Maybe the hero of this game for Emmanuel College, even though they got 16 goals, or would be their goalkeepers, especially Powell here in the second half. Only allowing 1 goal.
And the referee blowing the whistle. Looks like we had some contact there in our scrum.
Emmanuel still has it. Under 4 minutes to go now.
That's Kamaya Galen, the senior out of Grayson, Georgia.
Nice pass towards the middle. It doesn't really look like, for the most part, Emmanuel is looking to shoot here. They're just looking to run a little clock.
As it's number 8, Aaliyah Marijanich, who had a wide open shot there had she elected to take it. But as you said, Jim, looks like maybe they're just looking to run out some clock here rather than take lots of shots.
Nice pass towards the middle. But the ball's knocked away by the Knights. I believe that was Magic Knowles with it.
Magic Knowles taking it right up the field.
She's run past at least 3 defenders now. Gets it into the attack area. Knights trying to get their second goal of the second half. Thatcher with the only goal for the Knights in the second half.
And there will be some contact. The foul will go against Emmanuel College's number 5, who we actually don't have listed here on the roster. But she will get the foul, and Magic Knowles will start. Going for the bounce shot into the goal, unable to do so. And it is number 25, Elise Johnson, with the restart for the Knights. 1 minute and 50 seconds remaining here in the second half. The Knights trailing 5-16 against the Lions of Emmanuel College out of Georgia.
And there we have it. Maddie Dupay with the goal. So she gets a good look at a point-blank shot and the scores. And Maddie Dupay has her 7th goal of the season.
She was wide open in front of the goal. That was a great pass to see Maddie Dupay wide open, just probably 4 or 5 feet from the goal. And Maddie Dupay does a couple of fake shots on the goalkeeper, Emma Powell, and is able to put it in the bottom left portion of the goal. Emma Powell visibly unhappy with the goal, despite the lead, obviously looking to get out with a clean sheet, and maybe only saves and no goals against her. But you can't take away from the fact that she has had a really great second half.
Just allowed those 2 goals, one to Dupay, one to Thatcher here in the second half. Zoe Bradshaw had 3 first-half goals, not able to score so far in the second half for the Knights. Claire Hoteling had the other goal for the Knights, back in the first half. So Emmanuel College with this win, they're going to go to 4-3 on the season, and the Knights are going to go to 2-4 on the season. They'll have their 2-game win streak snapped. And again, they'll be playing next Wednesday and Thursday in Hilton Head, South Carolina. Back-to-back games on Wednesday, March 15th, and Thursday, March 16th.
That's Kafi Abdullahi stripping the ball away from number 11, Lara Russell. And the referees will give the ball back to the Knights with 12 seconds remaining. Referee blows the whistle, and the clock will run out probably even before the restart.
Yep, that's going to be it. So Emmanuel College with a big second half. It was 8-4 at halftime, but Emmanuel College gets 8 second-half goals. Knights only able to get 2 goals in the second half, and Emmanuel College goes on the way to a 16-6 victory again, raising their record on the season to 4-3, and the Knights now dropping to 2-4 on the season. They do have that Hilton Head, South Carolina trip coming up next week with a couple of games on March the 15th and March the 16th before they return home, Jake, for the home game against Randolph on March the 21st.
And our next SVU Watch It broadcast action will be here at the fields at Southern Virginia University once again down on the softball field, where the softball team here at Southern Virginia University will take on Wilson on Saturday in a doubleheader. So don't forget to join us there at that time on Saturday afternoon, just on YouTube, SVU Watch It. And that's where we'll see you next, Jim.
That'll be the first game coming up Saturday at noon, so make sure you join us Saturday at noon for Southern Virginia University softball. Once again, Emmanuel College goes on for the victory, improving their record to 4-3. The Knights, with the loss to Emmanuel today, they drop to 2-4 on the season. That's going to wrap things up here from the fields at Southern Virginia University. I'm Jim Bresnahan for Jake McMahon, Josh Adams, and all of our production staff here at Southern Virginia University. Thanks again for joining us, and have a great evening, everyone.